More than half of Americans pay no income tax, according to the Tax Policy Center. Now, there are proposals that would require more Americans to pay up. Robert Frank joins us now with more. Besides Mitt Romney, who are we talking about, Robert?
Well, Joe, we're talking about new estimates from the Tax Policy Center showing 57% of Americans paid zero income tax in 2021. Now, this is much more than the 43% rate pre-pandemic. And the main reasons: government stimulus checks, higher tax credits, especially the child tax credit and the standard deduction now of $25,000, and retirees moving to Social Security. Now, as some of these programs phase out, the number of non-payers expected to fall back to normal levels over the next year or two. But people say that when you combine payroll taxes and federal taxes, only 41% of Americans actually paid zero in combined federal and payroll taxes. But Senator Rick Scott and others saying more Americans need, quote, skin in the game. Howard Gleckman of Tax Policy Center estimates that if every taxpayer paid at least $100 in federal income tax, it would raise $100 billion a year in added revenue. Now, more than 80% of that increase would be borne by those in the lower and bottom half, making less than $54,000 a year. And meanwhile, the share paid by the wealthy continues to be at or near a record high. The top 1% paid 39% of federal income taxes last year, and the top 10% paid 71% of all taxes. Joe?
Yeah, we have a progressive system, and we still do, and we can hear it's not and things like that. But that does not excuse the notion that I could probably find 100 really rich people that maybe they didn't pay zero federal income tax, but as a percentage of their, you might as well round it down to zero. And that's because capital gain, they don't necessarily take a lot of income. It seems like some type of consumption tax would cure us on both sides, on the very wealthy and on the not so wealthy, although it might be too regressive on the low end.
Yeah, it would be very regressive. And if you look at this non-taxpayer number, the numbers, at least according to Tax Policy Center, the numbers of that share of that 57% that is wealthy taxpayers is very, very small. Now, it may be a decent-sized dollar number, but it's not people evading taxes at the top or at the bottom. It's just people that don't make enough to pay taxes because of these new credits.